Hi and welcome into astonehome.com. Thank you so much for following the link through. This home is a project, and sometimes it's awfully difficult to see just the scope of things looking at the photos. And so I thought it'd be best maybe if I narrated over the photos to help everyone understand what we're actually looking at. It may save a lot of time in the long run. So let's get started. This year, it's looking like we might have 2 or 3 project properties come available. This one is in Kingston, known as the Limestone City, and it's on a really old street right down in the really old part of town. Let's take a closer look. Charles Street is about 5 blocks off of Princess. It's considered downtown Kingston. Historically, it's been a working class neighborhood with small homes tucked in close together, and this is a perfect example of that. This is a screen grab of the house that's for sale before the fire. Walk with me on this because it's complicated. When they built the house that's for sale, the house on the left was already standing, and they used the outside wall of the existing home as a party wall for the new house. And in fact, they did the same thing at the other end of that existing house as well. So there's 3 houses in a row, and they share a parting wall, one on one side, one on the other. They're individual pieces of property, but that's the way they were built over time. They wasn't built all at the same time. They built over a period of time. The house in the middle with the addition on it is where the fire started. Both houses on each side suffered some fire damage, but because of the way the wind was blowing, the house that's for sale suffered the most. The fire spread from roof to roof. Now I want to stress, from this point forward, what I'm sharing with you are my thoughts. These are my assumptions based on the information I'm interpreting from the photos that we see, from the engineering studies that I'll be linking to somewhere on this page, and from my conversations with someone who's been in the house itself. There's a lot of guesswork in these particular types of buildings and these particular types of projects, but there are some things that we can be pretty sure of. I'm going to share that with you, but believe me, my opinion and $1.50 will get you a cup of coffee, so take it all with a grain of salt, and I'm just sharing with you my experience. Now we know the fire started in the neighbor's house and started the roof of this house on fire, and it started to burn. It burned so badly that the roof actually collapsed. And when the firemen came and started putting that roof fire out, they poured water on it, and all that water ran through the roof into the house itself. Inside the house was built with lath and plaster, old stuff, and that material will not take water. When it gets wet, it starts to dissolve. So because there was a roof structure fire in this house, the whole house had to be gutted completely. This is a blank slate. These are photos of the original 1.5-story part of the house. You can see the floor is strong enough to hold up that pile of lumber, and underneath that floor there's a crawl space. Now take a look at the second floor. Up here you'll see that there's a complete new roof system installed. It's got rafters, collar ties, roof decking, and shingles. And because they were allowed to build that roof, it tells us that the city and the engineers determined the second floor was sound enough to work on top of. So the floors don't have to be replaced. This is an empty shell, but everything that's inside the shell right now should be considered to be relatively sound. Here are a couple of snaps from before the fire. You can see they had some exposed stone on the inside, which is always really neat. And in this particular case, you could have exposed stone wherever you want to have it. It's just a blank slate totally. Behind the original 1.5-story home is a 1-story addition that makes up 2 rooms. It's an old addition. It too has been completely gutted, has a single sloped roof. Under the floor there is no crawl space. Behind the house there's the yard, and the yard is totally fenced. It's low maintenance, it's long and narrow. And behind the yard itself is a laneway that's a right-of-way back to Charles Street, a couple of houses up. Now, I'm not trying to diminish the scope of work on this project at all. This is a major project. You're talking all new systems, new wiring, new plumbing, new heating, and all new interior finishes. You need new kitchens, new bathrooms, everything. But the structure looks like it should be sound, and that is where you spend all the money in these buildings. To a certain degree, you can control your budget when you're doing interior finishes. You can spend a ton of money, or you can do things on a budget. It's your choice that way. This could be a tremendous opportunity for that. It's right downtown Kingston. You're just a few minutes to the waterfront, a few minutes to downtown. It looks like, with an offering price of $235,000, this could be a tremendous opportunity for the right party. Now, there are some issues though too. One of them is parking. There is no driveway in this house, and I don't know for certain, but I'd be surprised if you can have on-street parking in the wintertime in Kingston. There is the right-of-way to the back of the building. My understanding is it has not been used for a long time, and I don't know that you could use it as to create a place to park. That's something that people would have to investigate. And this is a very old home in a very historic city, and they're careful about that. It's not currently designated under Part 4 of the Ontario Heritage Act, but on the City of Kingston's Heritage Register, it is listed as a property of cultural and heritage value. So that would only typically pertain to the outside of the building anyway, but you do have to handle this with a little bit of care. And also, this is not going to be a home or a building that someone's going to purchase using conventional financing. This is going to be a real challenge to get a mortgage on the way it is right now. So it's going to take someone with a vision, someone with the energy, and someone with something in the bank to make this work. Now, this property just hit the market on February the 27th. I gathered the information and put this package together as quickly as I could to get it out to you. But because of the nature of this property, and because it's important that everyone have a fair and equal opportunity to really do their research and know exactly what it is they're buying, the listing agent is not receiving offers until March the 9th at 9 p.m. That gives everyone a fair window to do their own due diligence. If you're interested in this, fill out the form below and contact me right away. We'll make arrangements to get you in so you can start the process, because you could have a lot of questions here. It may take you time to do your research. Don't wait till the last minute. Thanks for watching. This is the first project property for 2023. As I said, I hope there's going to be 2 or 3 more. And thanks for joining the Stone Home community. Look forward to hearing from everyone.